Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your brother Bona Muhammad with another episode of Muslimi Meets, where we get a chance to meet really fun, interesting, cool, engaging Muslims from all around the world. And I'm joined with two guests, well, actually a co-host, Brother Yusuf Fakiri, who's going to be joining me, and the one and only Chef Aleem. Chefs, assalamu alaikum.
Appreciate you, brother, for everything you do in our community. I just want to say that. Thank you for the introduction. It means so much to me, but you deserve your flowers, brother.
Oh,
you do a lot.
Checks in the mail, don't worry. I'll send it express, inshallah. Look, we have Chef Aleem here. I mean, for anyone from the GTA, anyone from Toronto or the GTA, I'm sure they'll be familiar with your wonderful cuisine. I think a lot of people might look at you and have certain perceptions.
Yeah.
They might think to themselves, well, first of all, how could he be a chef?
Yeah.
Right? How is it possible? And I think your story is one of perseverance, it's one of overcoming challenges, and it's one of thriving, right? And I think there's so much that we could draw from it. So maybe if you would like, kind of take us back to the beginning. Take us back to, what first got you into food? Was there something in particular growing up? Was it something that, was it a recipe your mom used to make? Was it a smell you used to have around the house? What really got you interested in food?
Well, basically, I'm going to say it's my family. I'm going to say it's my mother. I'm gonna say it's my extended family. Straight up, I think I come from a food family, predominantly.
Okay.
My background, I'm from India, Hyderabad.
Okay.
Hyderabad is a major food city, but yeah, man. Like honestly, I think it would be my aunts and my father, my mother. They inspired me. They couldn't keep me out of the kitchen. I used to get in trouble, so my spot was in the kitchen.
Well, that's what they used to punish you to tell you to go to the kitchen? Little did they know, they were setting you up for a career.
Yeah. So, alhamdulillah, like, that's one thing. That's how, that initially started it. And I just became more interested in it when I was in high school and stuff like that. And that turned into, me just exploring life at a very young age. I was so fortunate to be able to be in public school, and I was able to do a co-op program in public school with a very famous restaurant that's closed down now in Toronto. It's called North 44.
Okay.
And Chef Mark McEwen, he and Chef Sash, they're my mentors. They trained me. It was actually Sash. Mark was probably busy in the office, but yeah, it was always Sash that was training me. So
shout out Sash. I don't know who you are or where you are, but shout out.
Shout out Sash. You did a lot for me. So, but with that being said, if it wasn't for him and all the people in that kitchen, I don't think it would have sparked the interest even further. So,
well, look, I mean, I think just for the audience, and again, I don't want to get into too much detail, but you weren't always in a wheelchair.
No, I was walking normally. I wasn't born like this. It's unfortunate, but I was finished work and I was walking home. And when I left work, I walked through a crossfire between two people. And unfortunately, a ricocheted bullet hit my tailbone and it paralyzed me from my thighs down. And it is what it is. I guess that was the challenge that Allah blessed me with, and I accepted that challenge because He knew I could take it. So that's pretty much it.
And we know from the statements of the Prophet ﷺ that Allah does not give anyone a challenge more than what they can bear. Sorry, it's an ayah in the Quran. Allah does not bear a soul with a burden more than it can handle. So, obviously you're built for it, clearly, because not only have you been able to just survive, you've been able to thrive, right? So, I mean, I want Yusuf to jump in as well, but I have one more question. What was that moment like when, and again, I can only assume that time in your life when you weren't sure what was going to happen. And you had all these plans, you had all these ambitions, you had all these goals, and then this, unfortunate accident occurs. I'm sure there was a period there where you weren't very clear. Maybe, I don't even know if cooking was still on the horizon.
Sure.
What was that period like, and how did you get over that time in your life?
Well, that's a good question, Buna, because sometimes people need like something to shake them up. Now, regardless of what your scenario is, you still got to get shook, right? If I didn't have the pillow of, and I'm not a religious person, but if I did not have the pillow of Islam to fall back on, that wouldn't have woken me up.
Subhanallah.
And the second thing is, it has to be my mother, because if it wasn't for her and her saying, "Wake up, boy, you're better than this. Don't cry. Came out of me. You're stronger than me." That's it.
Wow.
And that was in my hospital bed. And she said that, and I didn't realize how that would turn out. And that actually turned out like 2 years later, because it took me 2 years to figure out my situation, sitting down in a wheelchair and in my career. And I'm just one of those stubborn chefs that only knows how to do one thing, and I love what I do, and I try to do it perfect. And that's it. Like, I just followed my heart, and I did not ever once, go aside and do something else. I'm like one of those guys, those 1%ers, that's always done one thing their whole entire life, and that was just cook.
Wow.
And my father, my mother, obviously I told you, they come from a cooking background. My father always told me, take care of your community. I focused on the community in Toronto, obviously, and specifically the Muslim community. And if it wasn't for my community to embrace me, I wouldn't also be where I am today either. So I take that very personal, for my community in Toronto, not just being Indian, not just being Muslim, but just the Toronto, scene and how I grew up in the era that I grew up in. And that helped a lot. And I never burned my bridges. So that's the only reason why.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakat.
I mean,
I'm just trying to hold back tears, to be honest. Like, and I say this out of respect. There's so much to unpack: resilience, conviction, courage, strength. But beyond all of that, what I'm seeing is someone there's a saying. We say you can never control what's given to you. You can control how you react to that. As someone who loves the culinary industry, who believes in the power, I think something that I think people will really appreciate what you're doing is that living in a society now where, our identities as Muslims sometimes are, they go in different ways. What food often does is I'm originally from Afghanistan, and people love Afghani food.
MashaAllah,
right?
I love
and
Afghani rice.
And they say, I love Afghani food.
Rice.
Shout out the Kabuli, baby. We love you, man.
So what I'm saying, what the food can do is that it heartens people literally and figuratively when you see like someone like yourself from our community showing the food, because it's not just politics. It's like, this food is like, you discover an identity vis-a-vis you, Chef Aleem. So like when you're doing all this, like I know you don't consciously think, but do you ever think about that impact that you have? That you're actually impacting people and giving them an opportunity?
Beyond just the food.
Yeah, beyond
honestly, like a lot of people always ask me that question. And it's like
it wasn't written, I swear. I just made it up right now.
No, a lot of people actually ask me that question, in and around that, what you just said.
Less long-winded.
Yeah, and it's like me, I don't want to be that guy in the cooking career that only does something for a short period of time and is like, hey, give me my flowers or give me my respect or anything like that. At the end of the day, I don't really care for that. My thing is that I come from a French cooking background because I
MashaAllah, tout à fait.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I graduated from the Cordon Bleu. So, when it comes to French people, when it comes to cooking, they're really stubborn and they want to.
And they're very good at it.
Very good at it. They want to make it perfect. So it's like I want to try to create some type of perfection with what I do and provide it to the Muslim community of Toronto and North America, because I want to spread my wings more. And honestly, like I said, we keep it simple, right? It might just be a chicken sandwich, but then if you catch me at a catering of one of my caterings, you might just get something a lot nicer, right? And that's where I get to dance around and have fun. And I really think that's when I was cooking, there wasn't a big halal food scene.
Yes.
And now it's a lot bigger. And I love everything that I'm seeing, like from fine dine to a simple burger to what we do, a simple Nashville hot chicken sandwich or a tender. Like everything that's coming around that I'm seeing, I love it, and I don't want it to stop, and I want to see more and more and more of it. So however what I'm doing can help people open up their hearts or their minds, and the halal culinary scene in Toronto or North America, then alhamdulillah, so be it.
Speaking of spreading your wings, mashallah, tabarakallah, you started off with a truck.
Correct.
Right? A lot of people
Yeah.
knew you for a truck. You were in Scarborough for many years.
Yes, correct.
And it was a Shorting Road.
Yeah, Shorting
Okay.
Road. Birth,
And,
birth of the home place,
There
Shorting
you
Road.
go. Shout out to the Doopy Depot, my boy Osman too, right on that same neighborhood.
Shout
right?
out to Osman, shout out to Duplication Depot.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Scarborough for holding me down forever.
Big time, big time.
Yeah.
And not too long ago, you actually now, mashallah, moved into an actual storefront.
Correct, yes.
So what was that transition like? I mean, because I can assume that the truck life is a little bit different than the store life.
Yeah, you know what, Buna, I actually wanted to open a restaurant a long time ago, but it was always just like, people would say right time. For me, it's the right energy. And that's it, the energy needs to be right, and it was right this time. And that transition, I was so happy. You know what I'm saying? It was I don't own a house, but I own a restaurant. So alhamdulillah, and a food truck too. So alhamdulillah, being able to go to your own workplace, have your own office, and do all that, from a that you create from a culinary perspective
time.
is actually fun for me. I like going into my truck when I see a long lineup. I like going into the restaurant and I see a long lineup. I like walking into my kitchen knowing that it's really busy, and it takes a lot to get to that point. And a lot of people don't understand. So, I mean, I love it. That's what it is.
I mean, continued success, brother. May Allah continue
Inshallah.
to grant you tawfiq. Your burgers are, the chicken sandwiches are top notch. Mashallah, tabarakallah.
Alhamdulillah.
I beg someone to give me a better sandwich, inshallah. Taking all newcomers. We're not scared of nobody out there, and we got nothing to hide. All right.
Buna's being too nice now.
I'm picking fights with people that don't exist now. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. But for people that want to, support you, want to find out more about you or your work, your catering, where can they go and find out more about what you do?
Yeah, so if anyone's looking out to have arguably the top 5 best Nashville hot chicken tenders in the city,
Top one.
he's being nice. I'm trying to be humble, come to 4830 Shepherd Avenue East, Scarborough, McCowan, and Shepherd is the major intersection. We are open Tuesday to Sunday, never Mondays. Mondays for rest day and family day.
Yeah.
But Tuesday, Sunday we're open 4830 Shepherd Avenue East, and that's where we are for now. The food truck, you can catch us more so spring and summer, a little bit in the winter, and we post our schedule for our food truck online. So please do.
Social media? What social media handles?
Social media. Chef Aleem, and the other one is THE's Hot Chicken.
Make sure you check it out. Make sure you support our brother, and make sure you support Muslimi by continuing to watch these wonderful programs, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for watching. Jazakallah khair for Yusuf Fakiri, mashallah, and Chef Aleem hanging out with me today. Inshallah, we'll see you again for another episode of Muslimi Meet soon. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.